a virus, infection, a little Japanese girl, some diving equipment, and some curry. I now take you to the dark underbelly of criminal law. What happens to a child's mind when she discovers that her father has had an adulterous relationship with a woman, as a result of which the father passes a virus into the brain of the woman that he's sleeping with, which drives the woman to a murderous rage, which incites her to come into this little girl's home and murder her own mother? How would it have affected your mind if you had been that little girl? This is how her story unfolds. July of 1972, Mimi Wong and another versus public prosecutor. In December of 1969, Chiko Watanabe, a little Japanese girl, was 9 years of age. 2 days before Christmas, Chiko thus found herself holding her mother's hand, walking forward in the dim corridors of Changi Airport to meet her father, into whose arms she ran and wept. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind of unity, love, joy, and contentment. That, however, did not last very long. One night she heard her parents speaking to each other in raised voices. Creeping from her room in the semi-darkness, she made her way to her parents' bedroom, and outside of the room she could hear and her mother telling her father, "You cannot betray this family in this way. You must think about the honor of the family. You must think about our relatives back in Japan." She ran into the arms of her father, not understanding what was wrong, and then she heard her mother turn and tell her father, "Look at little Chiko. Will you betray her? Will you betray this family? Stop it, and stop it now." A week later, while her father was out, she heard a commotion below at the hall, and as she hurried towards the sound, she saw a woman and a man attacking her mother, and she saw the woman holding a knife with which the woman stabbed her mother several times on the neck and the abdomen with such ferocity and screaming that Chiko was petrified. When they had left, she went and she cradled her mother's bleeding body in her little hands, and she passed out. Weeks later, she found herself ushered into court. Her father was holding her hand gently, and he told her, "Chiko, speak the truth. Speak the truth. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid." And she was led into this room full of men and women wearing formal clothing, all in black and white. And there she was asked to recount. She answered the questions as best as she could. At some points, she could not speak. She was overcome with emotion. The judge was gentle with her, and a group of lawyers asked her questions, and it was exceedingly disconcerting to her. And when she was asked her last question, she left the chair in great relief to resume her seat next to her father. And through the next 28 days, she heard stories in court while she sat there clutching the hands of her father, how a bar hostess by the name of Mimi Wong and her husband Sim had importuned her father. Mimi had had a relationship with her father, and how Mimi refused to leave her father, resulting in Ayako's untimely and horrible death. To her amazement, she sat in court and she heard in English, a language she understood by that time because she was 12, how her father Hiroshi had apparently infected Mimi with some kind of virus called the encephalitis virus, which had infected her mind to the point that she didn't know what was happening, and that it was all the man, her ex-husband called Sim, had injured her. In fact, she remembered very clearly the fatal blows were delivered by this ferocious lady who was screaming at her mother. Afterward, she was told that they were both found guilty, and as it turned out, she found out many years later, on the 23rd of July 1973, both Mimi Wong and Sim were hung by the neck. I wonder what happened to the man Hiroshi? And I wonder, as I read this law report, what has become of little Chiko Watanabe, who is by my reckoning 59 years of age? Good night.